Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief keeps you informed about what's happening in Annapolis, Anne Arundel County, and Maryland. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and, of course, local weather. Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Monday, August 23rd, 2021. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief. Happy Monday. I'll tell you, all in all, I have to say the weekend weather has been pretty darn good all summer long. Saturday, I got a bike ride in from Annapolis up to Glen Burnie, and with the required stop at Sophie's Crepes in Severna Park. And yesterday started off with an excellent Eggs Benedict at Iron Rooster in downtown Annapolis, and was capped off watching a bunch of greasy midshipmen trying to climb a rock. What could be better, right? Well, it is Monday, so let's get into the news, shall we? Last Monday, we told you about a 74-year-old woman who was stabbed in her home in a home invasion deep down in Edgewater. The good news is that she is recovering. The better news is that police have arrested a suspect in the case, and we have learned that it was a lot more than just a home invasion. The 49-year-old man was employed as a house cleaner and had been in her home earlier in that week. He not only broke in, but attempted to rape the woman and only fled when she used a medical alert device to signal for help. Public records do indicate that he served time in Washington state for rape and is a lifetime registered sexual offender. Well done to the Anne Arundel County Police Force. But a crime they are still working on is a hit-and-run accident that left a motorcyclist clinging to life in shock trauma. Just before 2 a.m. on Saturday, an SUV was on B&A Boulevard in Linthicum Heights and took a left turn onto Grove Ridge Court without yielding the right-of-way. Motorcycle crashed into the SUV, and the operator of the motorcycle was flown to shock trauma in critical condition. The driver of the SUV fled the scene on foot, but he was identified by evidence left at the scene, as well as the 3 uninjured passengers he left behind in the SUV. Police are looking for Ronald Scott Clark Jr. of Severna, and if anybody knows his whereabouts, please contact the police at 410-222-8573. The Naval Academy is reeling from a cheating scandal. Back in December of 2020, 653 midshipmen all took a physics final exam. This was remotely, and we were in the middle of the surge, but they were instructed not to use any outside sources and reminded of the honor code. Well, a lot of them cheated and apparently, stupidly enough, chatted about it on various social media platforms. 105 midshipmen were identified, and after the investigation, 18 were dismissed from the academy, 82 were retained but sanctioned, 4 were found not to be in violation, and 1 is still waiting to hear what will happen. Predictably, the academy is making changes to their testing protocols and will require a signed honor pledge in advance of all exams, and will be ramping up proctoring and technology for any online exams, as well as some other changes as well. In some less serious news from the Naval Academy, the class of 2023 completed their Herndon climb 1 year and 3 months late due to COVID. Now, second-class midshipmen completed the climb in 3 hours, 39 seconds. The mid who capped the monument was Jim Crossfield from Philly. The time was nothing to speak of, although they did beat the class of 25, which climbed last May, but it was significant in a number of ways. The first time plebes could actually spectate at the event and not participate happened. And also, this is the first time the firsties or seniors greased the obelisk. That usually falls to the sophomores for the plebes, who now happen to be seniors. Crossfield also has an interesting backstory as well. He's one of 5 sons to the Crossfield family out of Philadelphia, and he is a triplet. 2 older brothers serve in the Navy, as did his father, and as far as the triplet brothers, one brother, Bobby, is up at Army. Obviously, that's the one whose judgment's a little bit off. And Charlie is at Penn State with a full ride on Navy ROTC scholarship. And as to why they were all service-minded and called to this, service does run deep in the family. And on 9/11, as the triplets were infants, their dad was a firefighter in Philly and was called to New York to help. As a result of that, he has had more than a dozen surgeries for cancer, and his brother, the triplets' uncle, also a firefighter and first responder to 9/11, passed away from cancer they believe was a result of the attack. Seeing this growing up and growing up with this year after year, the triplets really felt a true calling. So, boy, thank you very much to the Crossfields for the service that you're giving to our nation. And to Jim Crossfield, great job capping the monument. All right, let's back it down from college and go to the Anne Arundel County Public Schools. For the first time in more than a year, back-to-school nights and events are expected to be happening in person. The events will begin on August 31st, and the details are all available at aacps.org/BTS events. And here's something I wish they had when my kids were in school. There will be an online viewing option for parents unable to make it. It seemed that with 3 kids, they always had the back-to-school nights on the same night, so my ex-wife and I would divide up and attend and share notes. But with 2 parents and 3 kids, one of them always lost out. So this is a great option and perhaps a good thing that came out of COVID. And as we wrap up, I debated running the story about a guy who balances stuff on his face. I chalked it up to typical minor league baseball shtick, and then I watched the video, and I was really enthralled. Tyler Shore has been entertaining mostly ball clubs, but not just the minors. He killed it up at the Philadelphia Phillies, but he's going to be at the Bowie Baysox game tomorrow night. They're coming off of a road trip yesterday and will be back in action tomorrow for a first pitch at 6:35 p.m. Tickets are only $8 and go up from there, and you can get them at Baysox.com or at the window right before the game. As for Tyler and Tyler's amazing balancing act, if you need a smile to start your Monday, check out the promo video that I included in the article on eyeonannapolis.net. It's pretty cool. I'm going to be up in Bowie tomorrow night. Finally, I hope you caught the local business spotlight we dropped on Saturday with Ben Burge from the Anne Arundel Economic Development Corp. They are just kicking butt in the business scene here in Anne Arundel County. Up this Saturday, Pat May from Propa. Remember, these business spotlights do drop at noon every Saturday and are completely free, so if you know of a local business that needs to be spotlighted, let me know or let them know to reach out to me. And keep your ears open. We have a few bonus pods in the can up in the coming weeks. We've got Noel Castler, a comedian that's coming to the Rams Head, Biondi Family Band, and maybe a few more. And tomorrow's Ticket Tuesday, I'll tell you, is going to be a good one. It's going to be a different one, so you want to be sure to tune in. All right, that's it for the news. But first, a quick thank you to our 4 sponsors for today's Daily News Brief: Solar Energy Services, the Kristi Neidhardt Team of Northrop Realty, a Long and Foster Company, Rehab to Perform, and MacMedics. Alrighty, it is Monday, and Alsina from CovingtonAlsina is here with your Monday Money Report. And not as always, George Young from DCMDV Weather is not here with your locally forecast weather this week. He's taking a week's break, so I will access my DCMDVA Weather app and hack away at it. I am not a meteorologist, but I will pretend to be for this week. All that coming up in just a bit.
Are you an active adult or competitive athlete dealing with an injury keeping you from being at your best? Then Rehab to Perform is here to get you back to your full potential. R2P is a unique fitness-focused physical therapy company with 4 locations in Maryland. More like a training room and a personal training studio than a medical facility. R2P offers physical therapy for lower back pain, overuse injuries, post-surgery, muscle pulls, chronic pain, and more. R2P also offers rehabilitation for concussions and mild traumatic brain injuries. To learn more, visit rehabtoperform.com.
Hello, energy consumers. This is Rick Peters, president of Solar Energy Services, with your Clean Energy Minute. Does your home experience power outages? Or maybe you're concerned about energy resilience in general? If so, that's another great reason to consider clean, quiet solar-powered energy with battery backup. You may have heard residential solar adoption has rapidly increased during the pandemic for multiple reasons, and many homeowners, like yourself, are adding battery backup and electric vehicle charging to their solar projects. And with Maryland's residential energy storage income tax credit, along with the federal tax credit for batteries when paired with solar, the economics are quite compelling, and that secure feeling is even better. So whether you're looking for clean energy, energy resilience, or overall peace of mind with solar energy, we can help. To schedule a free solar design, call us today at 410-923-6090 or on the web at solarsaves.net. But hurry, sunshine's a-wasting.
Sunshine, sunshine, nothing else can make me feel so fine.
When you live near Annapolis, you know how fickle the weather can be. So you need a truly local forecast that's accurate and reliable. Forecast right here in Annapolis. DCMDVA Weather is not just for today, but for the rest of the week and the weekend too. Now here's George Young of DCMDVA Weather with the weather outlook for today and beyond.
Despite what the intro says, this is not George Young. He is on vacation this week, so you are stuck with me for the weather. The bad news is I don't know how to do this. The good news is that I have the app from George at DCMDVA Weather and should be able to handle it. You can get it too. It is free. Just search DCMDVA Weather in the App Store, or you can visit DCMDVAweather.com and check out all that he has on his site. Anyhow, about that weather, today will be mostly cloudy with a slim chance of showers in the Annapolis and Anne Arundel area. You might want to bring an umbrella just in case. And if you're feeling lucky, I lost one at the Herndon climb yesterday, so if you're over there on the yard and you find it, it's yours. My gift to you. Temps today, 75 to 89. Tomorrow and Wednesday look to be great. Lows in the upper 70s with highs in the upper 80s. The heat index is going to be very close to the actual temperature, but the humidity is looking to be a little bit high. But those 2 days look to be the best of the week so far. Thursday is more of the same, but a bit warmer, and Friday is just too far to tell at this point. I'll check the app again tomorrow morning and get the details for your Friday tomorrow. There, I did it. As I said, George will be back next week after a well-deserved break, but in the meantime, get the real skinny at DCMDVAweather.com. That's where you want to go.
Another moving moment from Kristi Neidhardt of the Kristi Neidhardt Team from Northrop Realty, a Long and Foster company.
Going through a real estate home sale or purchase is a very personal and sometimes stressful experience. Hi, I'm Kristi Neidhardt. My team and I are committed to working with people both buying and selling homes in all price points. Whether it's giving you a competitive edge while buying a home or negotiating the best price and terms while selling your home, we always have our clients' best interest at heart. Our goal is to provide exceptional service so that you will recommend us to your friends and family over and over again. Serving people is a passion of mine, and it's what my team does best. That's the Neidhardt difference.
That's another moving moment from Kristi Neidhardt. To get in touch, call 410-295-6579 or visit kn-team.com. That's kn-team.com.
You work hard for your money. Is your money working hard for you? Managing and investing, it can be confusing. Ann Alsina, a financial planner from CovingtonAlsina, has been helping people make sense of it all for over 17 years. Are you ready? Now, here's your Monday Money Report.
This is Ann Alsina of CovingtonAlsina with your Monday Money Report. The markets were down last week despite solid gains on Friday. Unemployment claims are at the lowest since the pandemic began. So what was the problem? Minutes from the Federal Reserve Bank, or the Fed, were released last week, and those notes caused a small taper tantrum. And what is that? Some background first. The Fed is our central bank, tasked with maintaining price stability and full employment. Put simply, keeping inflation low, defined as around 2%, and unemployment at or below 4%. They have several tools to do this. Historically, the primary method is by setting the prime rate, which drives interest rates on everything else: credit cards, treasury bonds, loans, and other debt products. An additional tool is quantitative easing, the purchase of bonds and other securities, which the Fed uses when interest rates are near zero, and lowering rates further is not the best option. The Fed is currently buying about $80 billion a month in Treasury securities and $40 billion a month in mortgage-backed securities. It keeps bond interest rates low, driving investors into stocks in search of higher returns. Low rates also make it easier for companies to expand and consumers to buy houses and cars, all of which drives the economy. As the economy continues to grow and recover from the pandemic, members of the Fed are indicating a willingness to taper or reduce these bond purchases. They are not stopping the purchase altogether, and they aren't beginning to sell the ones they hold. Just reduce the amount they are purchasing monthly. Markets reacted by falling sharply early in the week. Friday's gains show investors are still willing to buy the dip or invest when stock prices fall. Many economists believe that the Fed will hold off on tapering until they have more certainty around the impact of the COVID Delta variant. Either way, we should have more data after the Fed's annual meeting this week in Jackson Hole. Your action to take this week is to check your car's oil and tire pressure. Maintaining your vehicle gives you better gas mileage and reduces the chances of a mechanical breakdown. You can also register for our educational events on our website at CovingtonAlsina.com. Be sure to check out our Facebook page for more information. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SPC. Investment advice offered through Great Valley Advisor Group, a registered investment advisor. CovingtonAlsina and Great Valley Advisor Group are separate entities from LPL Financial. All performance references historical and is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. The opinions voiced in the show are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which strategies or investments may be appropriate for you, contact the appropriate qualified professional prior to making a decision. And if you don't have a financial advisor, come talk to us. This is Ann Alsina with CovingtonAlsina.
Have you ever had to wait to get an appointment at the Apple Store? Skip the wait and the line at the mall by visiting MacMedics in Severna Park or Lanham, where appointments are not necessary. MacMedics is an Apple-authorized premium service provider. MacMedics services all Apple devices, including broken iPhone screens and batteries, and all without an appointment. Most iPhone repairs are complete the same day and usually within a few hours. MacMedics is also an Apple-authorized reseller and sell Apple products at the same price as the Apple Store. Visit MacMedics in Severna Park or Lanham for Apple-authorized sales and service and shop local. Don't wait for help. Call MacMedics at 410-757-MAX, which is 410-757-6227. It's 410-757-6227. Or visit them online at MacMedics.com. You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues, this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. And don't forget about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. And make sure you follow us on Facebook at All Annapolis and on Twitter at Eye on Annapolis. This Daily News Brief podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m.